Egan, what's up, man? So that's what it feels like to be out of school, relaxing in the summer, not having work, and you get to be on YouTube. Daniel, what's going on, man? Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Sounds like a decent day of doing nothing. But you're doing something. Orlando, how's it going? Mike, what's up, man? Side note, since we got two vintage guys in here, Orlando and Keegan, what are your guys' thoughts? This is just me in my head thinking. What are your guys' thoughts on manufacturers, I guess, defects? So beautiful card, no creases. Left to right is pretty much dead nuts at 50-50, top to bottom, probably like 70-30. Now it does have a little bit of the snow, but the print lines from the roller marks, you'll see sometimes. I actually have a Koufax that's actually ripped right here where it was pinched, most likely. But these roller marks here, what are you guys' thoughts on cards that have wax that were like that from the manufacturer, and then roller marks, or maybe even common things like ink from like the 82 cal Ripken that has the ink smear down here that's on well over half of the population of those. Oh yeah, without the roller marks in the snow, this is a strong, I'd say 8. I mean, these corners are sharp. I mean, the card is super clean. But aside from that, so just what are your thoughts on cards that came out like this? They weren't damaged, they weren't like played with. Someone didn't take them and dent the corners and crease the card and pour coffee on it or get a stain on it. These are real defects. I know a lot of 51 Bowmans and things like that, because I'm 9 cards away from that set. Wax stains, they're not going to ding you as much because such a low amount of cards per pack, and a good portion of the cards produced will have wax on the back. but roller marks, things like that. What are you guys' thoughts on defects affecting the card that came from the manufacturer versus, like, if you're going to ding this, but then you're dinging us for the bad corners and the creases to bring a card down, that would say have rounded corners and maybe a little wrinkle that would still get a 3, but a nicer surface with none of these manufacturer defects. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's the same? I always like to ask people that collect vintage if that's how they feel about that. Because for me, it's just an interesting conversation. Yeah. Yeah, as a if the wax is on the back, there's nothing you can do about it. It's very distracting. I don't want to see it. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah, Daniel, I have a ton. Yeah, so just let me know what you have for trade. I've got tons of that stuff. Hey Artie, what's going on, man? So if anybody is going to the National, I've secured a block of tickets for the Thursday day game. Let me know if you're going to be here on Wednesday. Anybody in the chat and you'd like to attend? We'll have a nice group of about 30 people. Sounds like. Yeah. Yeah, PSA with the grading standards is so it's so crazy. Like we can all look at cards and go, man, why is that this? I don't know. But I look at a card and go, well, that's that and that's that. You know, this is a 4 and this is a 4. Well, we all have good eyes. We all go, hey, I'd rather have this. I'd rather have that. Just grading is just funny to me when it gets to a certain point. You know, a lot of people say, oh, if it's centered, you'll get a better grade. Send it to SGC. They're gonna take that into account where you'll get a little bit better grade. You may get a bump for SGC because it's strong centering. You know, like here's a good one. Here's a good example. So this has a small wrinkle here and then one wrinkle right here. Nothing around his face, nothing around his body. It does have this, you know, print rub. It's not missing paper. It's not paper loss. The centering looks good and the back is clean. And this card got a 1. And I've pulled up so many examples of PSA 1s that are literally folded and paper loss, and they should be authentic. And I've pulled up 2s that are horrible and beat down. But I'm not paying the money to go get this regraded. It's ridiculous. I was happy to get a better price on it because it was a 1. I don't care. I'm not gonna listen to what they have to say because anybody that has 2 eyeballs and a brain, you know, we all know what it is. Sometimes it's okay to go against the grain there, you know what I mean? Aiden, I haven't checked anything. I worked all morning and now I'm just taking a little break here because it's so damn hot outside. Well, I wouldn't even say, Keegan, I wouldn't even say the difference between a 1 and an authentic is weird. I think it's more like anything below a 2. 2 and lower is so backwards, in my opinion. It's just backwards. Completely backwards. There's no rhyme, no reason. I mean, we can all pull up a vintage, you know, PSA 1 and then you know, just see how bad a card really is or what they'll allow for a 1 because that 1 is not the same. You know what I mean? Just going to see if you put in PSA 1 and search by highest to find like a high-end vintage card that's a PSA 1. And it's bringing up a lot of 1 of 1s. Let's put in vintage baseball PSA 1. Here's a good example. Look at this. I mean, I'm just using this because I have the card in front of me. Okay, we all can see. Okay, so you're telling me that this card Okay, so please explain. So 4 rounded corners, off-centered, beat to hell, surface issues all over. Let's see what the back looks like. Back's kind of clean, but some, I mean, we're talking matte. These are folds. These aren't creases. This is card's been folded in half. So this is the kind of stuff we're talking about here. And the card, these are all Brighton photos too. You got to be careful when you're buying on eBay how people bright the photos. You can't tell me that this card is a 1 and this card's a 1. It's not even close. It's not remotely close. It's just an example of some of these PSA 1s that are run through the dirt, basically. You know, here's another one. How are you gonna grade that a PSA 1? There's literally a chunk missing off of the surface of that card. Rounded corners, pinhole, paper loss, 4 major rounded corners. And heavy, yeah, that's, you can see always, if you ever have a problem with like gloss and glare in the front surface and you're worried about how bad a card's creased, flip the card over. If you could see them through the back of the paper, then that's the severity of a crease versus a wrinkle or a front crease not making its way through a back crease. I tend to look at the back of the paper where you can see a lot of the damage there. But that card right there also got a 1. This is the kind of stuff that is mind-blowing to me. I mean, it takes one person or a million people you can ask. They're all going to say that that's clearly not a 1. That's clearly should be authentic. And I'm sure there's thousands of examples. Now, here's one where you may have that same argument, and I may say, well, I get it. It's a 1. It should be authentic because there is missing paper and there is a wrinkle here. But man, that's a beautiful card. If you ask me, the centering really tough on these small borders for 53 Bowman color. Clean back. It does have that big crease right there and there's the front and the back. But man, look at that photo. Look at the color, registration, centering. So, you know, so there's that. Yeah, it's a good card. Either way, that's a nice looking card. Just a conversation, that's all. Just something to talk about. Something to talk about. I am looking for centered copies of 93 Bowman here. Oh, hey, what's up, Ron? Yeah, I was just saw your text. Just seeing if we can get any more people that's new to jump in the channel. I can't afford mentals, Ron. Don't know how you do it. Well, Orlando or Keegan, you're 12, and Orlando's a lot older, so you'll get there. He also didn't get those when he was 12 in the entire run, so it takes time. So yeah, give it time and you'll get there. If you want it, if you want them, you'll get there. Took 50 years. There you go. He answered it for you. Benito Santiago. He was a good catcher. Eddie Murray. You want to talk about value in PSA 10s? 500 home runs, switch hitting, 3,000 hits. This guy's PSA 10 should be $1 million. If you're looking at other cards, and that one's actually not bad. Nice Ripken right there. I did get one out of this last box that I did. Going to send this one out. Yeah, that's a good point. Like grade who you want to grade with, but an industry standard would be nice. That's a great point. Because there's times I get cards back and I just go, I don't, I watch people's videos and I hear them like get all excited. They're like, wow, a 7. I was hoping for like a 5. And it's like, well, did they overgrade it or did they undergrade it? Or did you just miss something? So there's all that stuff that just gets put out there, and then it gets people that watch sports cards just confused. But the reason I brought that up, it just happened to be here in one of those cards. Now, if I was going to sell that card, yeah, I would go resend that card and resubmit for a review and try to get a better grade to sell it. But I'm not selling it, so my plan is to trade it along with any of these cards back here, all for trade. So I'm going to take that stuff to the National and try to get a better copy. Around within the next 20 years. Yeah, well, that's great, man. That's a good goal. It's good to have collection goals, Keegan. It's good to have goals, man. It's good to have goals. You can always readjust along the way. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is no sprint race. This is the marathon, right? Take your time. Take your time. Yeah, Joey Bell's great. Really well centered. So I'm gonna get that graded and then I'll put that with my set. Tiffany Will Clark run. That's cool. That's a good one. I like that. That's different. Did you guys see the Will Clark that was pulled out of the Series 2 box? A dual auto, Matt Williams and Will Clark out of 10 for Sean. Number 9 of 10. Pretty cool. Pretty nice card. Never pulled a dual auto like that from Topps flagship. So that was a first. This is a nice Glavin too. That's really nicely centered. So yeah, grading, is you have to put the work in if you're going to, in my opinion, grade cards. You just have to be willing to sell some stuff. It's the only way this stuff is affordable, or not affordable, but it's you have the ability to do it. Without that, it's just you're just spending money. You have to sell some cards to help pay for the hobby along the way. And as long as it comes on your terms, you're always going to be fine. Sometimes you have to sell, though. Sometimes life happens. I was going to say you guys should look for your Heliot Ramos cards. Looking like an all-star. Oh, geez. Heliot Ramos. I don't know. I think I've got about 1,000 of them at this point. I've got autos of his and stuff like that. And that's the thing, man. Sometimes these players just get an opportunity and they start playing really well. And next thing you know, people are buying them. Start going through your boxes that you had cards, and that's the fun part. Man, that's a great looking Kevin Brown. I know it's just Kevin Brown, but you'd be surprised if you grade something like this in a gems, the stuff sells because there's people that do these entire sets, or even player collectors of Kevin Brown from the 80s and 90s that will jump all over that. You just have to do a lot of research and see what sells and see what people are after. Network is good. Get out there and, ooh, that's clean too. Yeah, look at that. There's another good one. This pack is this pack may return a couple of pennies here. Man, if we can only hit a Derek Jeter looking like this, we'd be in business. But there's three nice ones. Orlando, do you remember years ago when people were like complaining about all the people grading cards during COVID or pre-COVID or whatever it was, in the 18 boom and starting off? Once I started posting content, people were commenting a while ago about they would leave comments like, "See, you're the reason I can't get my cards back. You're grading all this junk." And I always thought that was funny. And whatever doesn't make it to the grader, if it's nicely centered, I'll probably just swap it in my personal set. But it was funny that they would tell people what to grade and what to spend their money on. I always thought that was funny. And why this hobby allows, not that you can't stop it because it's the internet, but why this hobby allows people to basically follow you around on the internet and criticize and knock you and tell you what you're doing wrong. And I always use the example, like, imagine like going grocery shopping and like people yelling at you, "Don't eat that bread. Don't buy that loaf. What are you, stupid?" It's people like you. I can't get fresh fruit. You're buying up 3 boxes of strawberries. What are you doing? Reselling those? No, I'm having a party. Leave me alone. Idiots will always be the most popular. Listen to this. Who's got Keegan's phone? Keegan, we're gonna do a segment once a week, buddy, and I'm gonna send you some cards, man. We're gonna do a segment. It's gonna be called Word to the Wise. Keegan, are you down? You got nothing going on this summer, right? You're cutting lawns or got some side jobs going on or raising some money, doing whatever you're doing. Let's do a segment with Keegan. This guy's got more wisdom and knowledge than half the idiots in here right now. And that includes me. Don't take that personal, fellas. I'm just joking. Yeah, Keegan, I'll send something your way, buddy. But let's do a segment. We'll come up with some topics. And another, I'll touch on these silver foils in a second. But we'll do something called a Word to the Wise. And we'll come up with some stuff. Just do a little topic. And it'll be something that we come up with, something kind of fun. Some of the comments you make, whether you heard them from other people, your father, your mother, friends, uncles, grandparents, doesn't matter. Wherever you heard it from, you remembered it. That's all that counts. And what you just said is so true, which I think is pretty cool. What, now you're gonna bagels? Oh, that's great. I love that. Idiots will always be the most popular. Can't change it. I love that. I'm sure I've heard it's said some way, but not that way. There's another nice one. Pedro Martinez. It's actually really clean. And they're not going to give you all 10. So if you're going to send out 20 of those cards, space them out. Send 5. Send 5 in an order. Send another 5. It sucks we have to do that, but you send in 20 good cards and they all look like 10s. If they're all deserving of 10s, they should get 10. It's virtually impossible. You know that. My best order was this past, 2 months ago. I think I did 21 of 22. I was 1 off. And that was modern. So this is completely different. But the reality is they don't know that these are packed fresh. Yeah, it's 93, but we just opened them today. So getting back to another comment I want to make. Oh, Big Mac. Look at this. Another good one. Tell you what, this box is delivering the goods here. These are looking really nice. So you get 24 packs, and I don't know the number, but there's not a ton of 17 for 17. Nice. Yeah, on modern, that's really, and any grade, it's great, man. That's awesome. But my point here is another reason these boxes I like doing is there's only so many foil cards in the set. There's not many. It's well under, I think, 30 or 50 or 25. I have to check, but it's not a lot. Point being, though, is you get 1 per pack. So you're getting 24 of these cards. There's the Chipper Jones, the Manny Ramirez. Here's the Manny right here. Probably hope for a 9 on that one. I've done this like 3 or 4 times. I've never gotten a 10. I do have one that's a little bit nicer. I'm hoping for a 10, but if I get 9s, then that's fine too, because who doesn't love an early Manny? And then has the back top prospect. But yeah, so and then there's a dual Ken Griffey Jr. and senior card. So I got a couple of those I'm sending out. Carlos Delgado's in here. There's a few others that have the foil cards. Elu and his father-son card. And there's one more I'm missing. Oh, Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones is also in there. Are the no-namers worth anything? In terms of this right here, the foil boards, no, this is actually part of the set. So card 360 will not have this same exact set or this card with, the base design. It'll just be this card randomly inserted through the set. So that's how they did these that year. But this is a massive set of like 700 some cards. Can you explain Willie Mays auto to me? It's one of the strongest autos. What do you mean in terms of like the strongest autos? Hey Sean, what's up, man? Oh, I don't know. I don't even own a Willie Mays auto. And I was just texting my brother-in-law. The only thing these scumbags are going to run to when, now that Willie Mays passed on, his card should not go up in value. The only thing that should go up in value, in my opinion, well, but he hasn't signed in a while too, so is the actual autographs. You could still obtain the cards just as easy if he passed 10 years ago or if he passed, 5 years from now. Doesn't change anything. The only thing is the autographs. That's the only thing that should, in my opinion, should go up because you can no longer obtain them. That's it. Yeah, I remember you saying that, Keegan. Pretty cool card, man, or pretty cool image. Well, my knowledge from 93 to 2012 isn't anything really. Well, that's why you learn, man. That's why you learn, Keegan. This every day is learning. We're learning right now. We're learning from listening to guys like Orlando and yeah, Mays signed everything. Yeah, exactly. It's like Bob Feller, Mickey Mantle. Those you can get a ball cheap. Hank Aaron, those they're on my list to get. I got a couple displays in my living room, but I'm in no hurry. Ooh, there's another nice Pedro. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, good point. There's I think I mentioned that before, Orlando, where we were talking about rare versus expensive. Another nice Glavin. Tell you what, this has been a great box, and this is all I got a full case of these. I think it was 24 boxes. So I picked up a full case that was in really the box was really good condition, and so I just been ripping stuff. I'll build some sets and put some sets together to sell. Oh, awesome, Sean. Cool. Very cool. Ooh, run, Ricky, run. Maybe a little thin on top. It's close, though. Maybe on the left, it's close. Let's take a peek at that one. Yeah. So, guys, has anyone coming that wants to join the Indians game get together that I'm putting on? Let me know in the chat. Orlando, I don't know if you're going to be here on Wednesday. If you are, we're going to meet at the bar across from the stadium before the game. And I do have the tickets already secured. So we'll all be in the same section. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Man, this box has been yielding some really clean And you got to watch because it's heavy gloss on these, so just skimming through, these scratch very easily. Vintage goats. Keegan, do I consider one of ones rare? So I'll give you my opinion on one of ones. Late afternoon Wednesday. Okay, cool. Well, if you want to join us for the game, I'll email you, Orlando. Send you the details. If you want a ticket, let me know. But I'll send you the details. Yeah, and we've got 3 rows in the same section. So I got those all secured. But that is the plan. Topps Chrome refractor set. Smalls. No, I'm not doing the refractor set. I've got a bunch here. I just sell them I sell them in lots. The best way to do it if someone is building them. It's tough to that's a tough undertaking. 500 card refractor lot when you're getting like 6 per box. 4 or 6 per hobby box. Ooh, Cliff Floyd, he was good for a little while. I remember that. So Keegan, my thought process on a 1 of 1. It's all about the print run for me. So if you're buying a product that has a very low print run, and let's say it's like I'm not going to bring up Panini because that's not a good example, but let's say it's like a the Topps. Oh, look at that! Another Barry Bonds. Let's say it's the Topps like Transcendent, and then you get all these cards, and people, you get 1 of 1, but then you realize there's only like so many boxes produced. To me, a pack of cards like Flagship, where there's tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of each base card made, and you pull it out of this, this is more rare. This is considered, hey, it's a mass produced, tougher to find product. I hope that makes sense, but it's based on the pack odds. Yeah, if you're buying boxes of cards that are, you get 5 numbered cards, 3 autos, and no base cards, and then 5 patch numbered cards, and then you're pulling a 1 of 1, and then freaking out and going crazy. That to me is not as rare as something out of a Flagship product or a Topps Chrome or the Bowman. Those 3 releases are pretty much what I go by as industry standard because they've been around the longest. It's what we've known. It's just, oh, come on, Mo. I need a Mo. I need a Mo not in his khakis. Ooh, that'll work. Yeah, well, that also plays into the argument rare versus expensive. This card is expensive. Oops. Down goes Willie, literally. This card is expensive, but this card is not rare. This card will be offered at the National in the thousands. Every case will have handfuls of these. Some cases will have a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, a stack of them. Some cases will have 1. Some cases will have many. So yeah, there's it's like anything else. There's rare. Oh, here we go. There's a Bobby and Barry. I didn't know that this one existed. I forgot about it. And there's a good one. So yeah, we'll probably send a handful of these. That one looks pretty good. A little thick on the left, but top to bottom isn't bad. So we'll take a look again. Definitely send an Albert. He's centered up nicely. Maybe I'll do a recap on how those come back. So hopefully I get some 9s and 10s. George Brett. There we go. There's the Bulldog. Hershiser. Yeah, Iconic is another good one too. Yeah, that's another thing on Fuego. Iconic. That's another good good term to use. So yeah, there's that. I agree with that. There's the Iconic. There's rare. You have a rare. Something you found in a barn, like a rare scale or a rare, sign. I mean, some signs are worth tens of thousands of dollars. Arnie, what time's the game? Can you read, Sean? This is how Sean talks to me because I love Sean. Never met him yet, but Sean's my guy. Watch this. Hey, Sean, you know how to read? Open your eyes. 1:10 p.m. What time's game? Yeah, it's iconic, but it's not rare. I tell people all the time, you got $1 million, you can call a broker up at REA and get some contacts. Hey man, I need 3 Mickey Mantles. I need a 6, a 4, and a 3. I got $1 million to spend. Can you get me what I want? Yeah, I can get you what you want. I'm going to run you about 600,000 for all 3. And then boom. How are we going to do this Keegan segment? Didn't hear it. I don't know. We'll come up with something. Why the wise words of a 12-year-old? Words of wisdom by Vintage Goats. Deep thoughts by Jack Handy. My chat was hiding the banner. Oh, see now I'm the turd because your chat was hiding the banner. It sounds like you got a problem on your end, Sean, not me. You're not landing till 3 p.m. What are you, nuts? Are you serious? I thought you were coming in on Wednesday. Well, that's terrible. Alex Cole. There we go, Delgado. Not looking too centered based on the back. Not terrible. Not good, not too bad, not too good. Don't mess with the Jedi Master. Shots fired. Sean needs a screen that allows for pop-up captions. A great image here. Edgar Martinez. Another George. Oh, that's a good George Brett. Another Hershiser. That's another good one. No Jeter up to this point out of this box. Carlton Fisk. Jerry Pettleman. Scott Fletcher. It's on Wednesday. I'm reading in the dark for Frank. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the game's on Thursday. So you're in, Sean? That means you're coming in Wednesday? Done. Brett Saberhagen. I am 12. Leave me alone. That's my reply for everything now. Leave me alone. I'm just a kid. So, Sean, does that mean you're still in? Good deal. Sounds like a plan. Good deal, Sean. I will pencil you in. I'll send you the details. I just got to write up an email with all the details, get everybody's information, and have everybody pay through a different PayPal so I can get paid without a bunch of fees. It's going to be nice to Raul Mondesi. Decent one that's in here. The foil cards, at least. Cal Ripken. Steinbach. Yeah, I just talked about that not too long ago in Fuego. I don't think anybody should. This card shouldn't go up. This card, it has nothing to do with this cards. The autos, yes, I agree on the autos, but he also, hasn't signed in a while too. My second year, he's on the cover of the box too. But yeah, I mean the autograph, Yeah, he did sign a lot, but should it go up? I think it should. There's you no longer have the ability, but if you know he hasn't signed, it's not like he was signing up to his passing, you know. So I believe his cards should stay right where they're at and just flow with the rest of the market like everything else. But in terms of like him passing, why would the cards go up? They will. They'll get a little bump, but I don't see why. I don't have that answer either. That's for damn sure. You know that. But I agree with you. I'm 7. Leave me alone. I'm just a kid. Before there was trout, there was salmon. Tell you what, I will tell you what's crazy about this hobby. Like I just can't understand. It's so hard to get like kids involved and spread the good word to other people. Nobody gives a shit about the hobby. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Period. Don't tell me you do. You don't, because you don't. Nobody does. That's a very good blanket statement, which I don't like those, but I'm saying it anyway. Manny, nobody cares. You can't give stuff away and get people to be interested. You can't. You just can't get people to be interested, at least in the YouTube world. You have to find another way because it's not happening. From Justin at Three Good Nerds, no, I have not. But I also shared my post with some popular channels that always preach about hobby, and not a single person shared my post except for Orlando. Orlando is the only person that shared my post. But I'm not talking about Orlando here. And with what I'm saying, people like Orlando know that I'm not talking about people like Orlando. They just say they care. Let's grow the hobby. It's about the kids. How about eat my ass? You're full of shit. How about that? Close your ears, Keegan. Earmuffs. You're full of it. You're full of lies. You're full of lies. You're full of lies. You're full of lies and clickbait and cashing checks from YouTube. That's all you are. Oh yeah, like I said, Sean, I'm not talking about you guys. Not at all. Not talking about you guys at all. Talking about the people that promote the hobby and pump the hobby as such, and then when confronted with opportunities, they don't want to do it. Just like other channels that won't promote other people that, oh, well, if you're big, you can't comment that on my site. You can't comment that on my page. You can't do that. I'm breaking here right now. You can't do that. What does it matter? Do you go around to every store and telling McDonald's they can't promote their stuff because Burger King's selling burgers and so is McDonald's? No. Just tell it like it is. We have them and so do they. Buy what you want. I have this, so do they. Buy what you want. You want to spend money over there? Great. Enjoy. That doesn't sound like a nice dinner. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I missed one up here. That's not true if no one cares. No, I'm saying no one cares in terms of growing the hobby, like they promote on their channel and promote, hey, it's all about the kids. We need to grow the hobby. We need to do this. We need to do that. I'm doing something that's exactly that and limiting it to just kids. And then it also has them interactive with the game of baseball and collecting throughout the entire half of the season. So, yeah, I'm not saying that no one cares about the hobby. I'm saying no one cares about what they promote when they talk about the kids. That's what I meant. It's just this reality. It's just the truth, because if they did, they'd be doing stuff for it. And I don't see anybody doing anything. You guys do. You guys do good stuff. Everybody in this chat does great stuff. I'm talking about the big channels that have all the noise, all the followers, all the clicks, and all the attention. And as much as people don't like Sports Card Radio, they're right. When you go to Google and you go to look up with anybody that has a platform that's popular, if you grab any phone, whether it's, they call them burner phones, you grab a phone, any phone, just a person, hey, can I see your phone real quick? And they do nothing with sports cards. Grab your aunt's phone, your cousin's phone, your sister's phone, whatever, and just type in sports cards into YouTube. You're not going to get Mr. Enfuego, who has a lot of followers. You're not going to get Mr. Enfuego. He's got 20 times what I have. You're not going to get Mr. Enfuego, period. I'm not knocking him because he's does a great job, and that's not about him right now. You will not get anybody in this list, period. You won't look at Orlando. Some of the finest examples of like some of the greatest vintage cards you'll ever see in one spot. You're not going to get Blue Jacket 66, Dave. It's not going to happen. You're going to get the Bozos, and that's pretty much what I'm talking about. And those are the kind of people that are limiting the hobby, in my opinion, just from the YouTube standpoint. This is not, I literally can stand outside the IX Center when the Nationals here with signs at the corner of the street and just, hand out cards, hand out this, put signs up. I could do it. I could do all of those things that would help, and they would just have instant impact. Yeah, Orlando's great. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so Orlando, Mr. Enfuego, with 10K plus followers, I know I can count on at least 1,000 people to appreciate my content. That's all that matters. Okay, exactly. So that's a good point that you bring up. So 1,000 of those. Okay, so that's 10% of Mr. Enfuego's followers. Okay, this is just one example. It's not the, it's not the end all be all, but it's a great point. I'm the same way. I have 600 some followers, and my average roughly is probably like 60 to 80 people that watch my videos, right? That's 10% viewership. That's really, really good. Then I go to some channels with 7,000 followers or 5,000 followers, and they can't crack 25 to 50 people. It's like, okay, then maybe some of those are bots. Maybe some of those are not real. That's fine. But the point of the story is that there's Mr. Enfuego, who does a large reach with the podcast. He's in my chats. He's in everybody's chat that I'm in. I always see him there. So he's always interacting with the hobby. Okay. That's one person doing a lot, right? So that's what Sean does. That's what Mike does. That's what Space Case does. Everybody in here, Orlando, Orlando could be doing anything right now. He doesn't have to stop in here. Even if it's for a minute, he stops in and says hi. All of these people that are in here are just good examples of what it takes to get to that next step. And it's going to take time to be organic like this. And you're up against the devil. You're up against the man. You're up against the wall of YouTube algorithm. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people don't like Mr. Enfuego's cards, but that's I do. I don't personally collect them, but I love seeing like his platinum anniversary run of A-Rods. Those things are amazing. That's like one of the best looking sets ever, is the 2022 platinum anniversary. Yeah. There's a lot of guys like that, Mr. Enfuego. There's a handful of guys that I can count on that I know. And I tell people about cards all the time. I was getting a massage last week, and I was talking to the massage therapist, and she was mentioning stuff that her dad has. And I says, do not let a bunch of people see those cards, because they're going to want to try to go through them and just go crazy. I go, I'll help you get them graded if you want, and then you could sell them and you can keep all the money. If you want to throw me something for my time, give me a gift card to a steakhouse or a free massage or something. Like, give me just take care of me that way. But don't let a bunch of people come through and pick through all your father's cards that passed away. So um, that brought up something like Mr. Infuego's talking, and I was like, man, there's guys that can grab 5 cards and hop on an airplane and put 5 cards in their pocket, and they're sitting on a $500,000. Some more, some less, but like a lot, you know. Yeah, yeah, exactly, in Fuego. So and I think like guys like Keegan, it's cool because he's into vintage, but he's also into baseball, right? He likes the game, he likes the cards, he likes all that stuff. Channels, followers, example, subs 10,000 subs the channel, but can't get 100 views, likes on a video. Makes me scratch my no, it doesn't make you scratch your head at all. You have the answer. You're wise enough to know that it's absolutely bullshit. I mean, let's be real here. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Don't second guess yourself. You're right. You nailed it. You figured it out. You're quick. Boom, done. It's exactly what it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. People are popular. Um, and I'm not comparing what I do by any means because I don't do the monetization. And I know if I click that, I just don't have like those commercials in there. Now, if they put them in there, I have YouTube Premium. It's like I think it bumped up to like 14, but it's the best $14 I spend, and I can watch any video. So when I'm watching Mr. Infuego's video, I get no interruptions. I don't get anything like that. Um, so let me just pull up a quick video. But if you typically watch YouTube, you all know that you have, and I watch podcasts like Theo Vaughn's my favorite. And here's a great, he does a lot of crowd work, but here's Stavros, good comedian. Um, so I'll watch this through its entirety, no matter what. I mean, he'll have his live reads in between because it's just a podcast show. It's what you do. He's got to pay the bills as well. But I can just watch throughout the whole entire, hour and 50. Or this is 2 hours and 15 minutes. So if I'm out doing work at a house or outside doing some yard work, I can put the headphones on and just listen to that with no interruption. So I pay the $14. So I don't know what it's like for you guys that post content that have commercials. I know that's how YouTube makes their money. And if you're monetizing your channel, that's how you get paid based on the view count. Because you could have 1 million followers, but if you're not getting the views, it doesn't matter. So, um, hey, if you're making money on YouTube, God bless you. Like, good for you. And I'll be the first to congratulate you and say, keep it going, man. Make that money, make more money. My only complaint ever will be is how they make their money and why they make their money and the reason they do it for. It's not for me, but hey, you do you. You got to live with everything you do in life, not me. I could choose to turn it off. But that's just my opinions. On a side note, if anybody here hasn't seen this yet, this is hands down the nicest looking card ever. For Ozzy. There are a lot of people within the hobby who claim to know what is best for their viewers. Yeah, but here's the thing. You're right with that in Fuego too, but I think a lot of people I just love this card. Um, and it's not about, we all have personal lives, we all have things to do, but I think in Fuego it's people are so afraid to like let people talk, like let them have their opinion. And if they're wrong, it's not like they're debating a fact. If you're going to debate a fact and just blatantly lie to people, that's where I have the issue. But you'll never beat the internet. You'll never have the whack-a-mole game. You knock one down, two more pop up. You're just constantly whacking them down, and it's like Keegan said before, about the idiots, people being idiots. Some are spot on while others can blow smoke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's a loud platform. And that's the whole idea with that's why I guess if I had to sum it up, I cannot stand the news. The news is garbage. The news fuels nothing but narratives, and narratives are not good. I don't care if it's political, if it's sports related, if it's food related. And I say food because studies show eat chocolate before bed and a glass of wine is healthy. Then 6 months later, eating chocolate once a week and drinking wine is bad for your health. And then you find out that the study was like 100 people from some university wasting money, giving kids something to do, thinking they're important, but it's not, right? And it's all about what drives. All trash and negative. Yeah. Doom and gloom, everything. Yeah. I always tell people real simple. And a lot of people go, well, I just watched the news for weather. I go, how old are you? 50? What plant? Where did you just move to Ohio? It's cold in February. It's hot in July. Every party you have in cookout, plan for rain. And if it rains, you're good. You figure it out. If it doesn't, enjoy the day. Like, what does it matter? And how are you going to get a hour-long story, 2-hour-long story into a 90-second snippet that's just going to fire you up? And then you tell that person, and Artie tells Sean, and Sean tells me, and next thing you know, it's like missing pieces. And then it's just spreads like wildfire. And that's what's happening to the card community. That's why I stood on the sideline for many, many years, not posting stuff, because nobody cares about certain things. I'll just say that. Nobody cares. So yeah, it's yeah, there's another good point. Yeah, absolutely. And he collected a long time ago and took a break and came back in the hobby like a lot of people did. And that's great, It's it's people that need, in my opinion, or that need to be heard, and they're very deserving, which I think is great. And it's like good for them, At any time you can, let's say, promote or I got to stack these because these are all sorted from the break and get this stuff shipped out. This is from the 24 Series 2 case break we did. My helper over, so I did a stack and then we did the stack. So just got to combine these now and box things up. But that's a great point in Fuego. Yeah. A lot of people knock the sports car radio guys, but if they were just saying a bunch of negative stuff and it wasn't true, don't you think that all those people that are wanting to call in and don't get to call in, where they say, well, you can call in, you can call in here anytime, we'll have you on, we'll let you talk, we'll give you the opportunity, and they don't yell and scream and talk over people. They allow you, they pause. I will say they do a great job at that. They allow people to talk, even if it's something that they don't agree with, and they allow you to have a chance. And there's a ton of viewers, but a lot of people say, well, oh, it's all negative. I go, well, wait a second. If it's all negative but it's true, I don't think that's a problem because that's not a snippet. They're not just giving you a little snippet. They're giving you the whole entire story. They're giving you their one opinion from their brother, one opinion from the other brother. Okay, so there's that. And then they're giving the person that's involved in the story and anyone else that's involved in the story an entire platform. You want an hour, you want 15 minutes, you want 20, you want 40 minutes, they'll give it to you. And then I hear people, I've seen people comment, and again, it's just comments about them spreading lies. Well, don't you think if they were not allowing those people on and trying to control a narrative and create a story for clicks, that person would complain to all these other channels and it would be out there? No, because they're hiding with their tail between their legs because they're hiding something, because they can't come on, because they know they did something wrong, because they are shady, they are a bad person, they are not doing something right. They were called out and it was in fact true. And if it wasn't, the whole world would hear about it in the YouTube card community. It's just that simple. People need to think outside the box and go like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, because what I'm saying does make a lot of sense. It does not work that way. So maybe you don't want to watch sports card radio, and maybe that's not your thing, and that's fine. But if they were out there weekly, daily, posting and doing this just to promote a narrative, don't you think that a lot of noise would be everywhere else saying, wait a minute, I tried to call on their show, they gave me a bad number, they're a bunch of liars? Because everyone else, including Dan the Cardman and all those other guys that have a lot of channels, that have a lot of followers and a lot of reach, they would post it and say, hey, we're calling out sports card radio. But nobody does that. Nobody goes after them. Think about that. You have the platform, you have the ability. The people he's talking about have some of the highest followers in the hobby. And those people, I don't see anything happening. I don't see them going after sports card radio. I don't see them posting a bunch of videos on them and anything like that. I just don't see it. So I don't think those guys are bad. Is it my thing to like, be doom and gloom? No. But at the same time, a lot of the stuff that they're saying is very helpful information. And of course, you still have to do your own homework. Hey, is this true? Hey, do I believe in this? Let me check with someone else. Hey, I found this useful, so I'm going to keep watching them. Or I don't like this type of content. No one forces anybody to watch anything. Like I said about Infuego's card collection, some of his cards and the stuff that he likes, it may not be for everyone else, but you don't have to like the players that he collects to appreciate someone doing a player run or a color run or a rainbow or whatever type of collection they're doing. Any type of collecting is interesting to me. So some of these channels actually use the info presented, do the research, and share. Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. Like the podcast, and there's another thing too. If you're wrong, just have an open mind. That's all. Hey, if I'm wrong, tell me. Let me know. It's a learning opportunity. People are so stubborn the older they get. They're so afraid to be wrong. They're so afraid to be able to learn. And yeah, that's always tough. Everybody wants to be the loudest in the room and to be heard, versus learning something. That's always been an issue. But I guess that's my number one issue when I talk about this stuff. I don't know how we got on this topic, but it's fine. The reason I bring this stuff up is because it's turning into the news. Okay. And if you live under a rock and you don't understand what's going on, Willie Mays passed away. Okay. All right. So Willie Mays passed away. Share some of your Willie Mays cards. Share some of your Willie Mays stories. Share some, hey, I don't know Willie Mays, but this was my favorite outfielder or center fielder or whatever position you want to bring up that can be a little bit of a comparison. And this is the guy that I looked up to. I never met the guy, but I heard a story that my grandpa met him and my dad got to get an autograph something, and we don't know where it's at. And we think they went outside and played with it. Anything, right? But that no one cares about that because people like the juicy garbage, man. It's just what it is. I shouldn't say nobody cares. It's just you're not going to find it. You have to look for that. It's not presented to you. And when people enter the hobby and go on YouTube, the one thing I will say that was probably the best thing I heard in a couple of years from Sports Card Radio, since I've actually watched them, is you're not going to click on YouTube and find Mr. Infuego and other good content. You're going to find a bunch of bozos. And there's some good ones that are big. You know, there's some good ones that are big, that are just fine. But the likely odds of you getting a bunch of great content and a bunch of good people is going to be really tough. Yeah, Artie, no worries, man. We'll catch you soon. Putting out band info. Yeah, absolutely. It's called life, man. We're human. The human element. It's going to happen. You're going to be wrong tomorrow, the next day, next week. It's just how things go. Yeah, I mean, you want to rub someone's face in it? That's fine. You know, you can do that and live with the consequences. But like, why not use it as a moment to help somebody? And like, hey, I saw you're doing this. Just to give you a heads up, I've had experience with this over 30 years. You know, it might be worth you listening here. And I'm going to help you out with something because I don't know you, but I don't want to see you get screwed over. I've been on forums where I was trying to purchase something many years ago, and people have reached out to me in direct emails like, hey, just be cautious of that because so-and-so. You know, it may be real, it may not be real, but just be cautious. Make sure you do this, make sure you do that. Not saying that the person was trying to scam me, but they were just being upfront because they didn't want to bash the person on like the public platform into the comments. So they actually reached out to me. They don't know me. They still don't know me to this day, but I thought that was very nice. And again, they weren't trying to get over on me. They didn't have anything to sell me. They had no skin in the game. They didn't have anything to get from me. So there's tons of good people that are willing to help and offer up years of knowledge, and anytime you can get that for free. I always tell people, yeah, it may not be something in the book or this or that, but you do go to college and you pay for education, right? You go to private school, public school, doesn't matter how it is, tax paid, you pay, doesn't matter. You go to school to learn. So why not take all this same information that's free and learn it and educate yourself free of charge? I always like try to not spin it around, but try to look at it from a different point. And so they understand, like, you have nothing I want. I'm not lying to you. If I was lying to you, I'd be trying to get something from you. I'm trying to take something from you that is not mine, that you have, that I want. So I'm going to do anything I can in a negative light to get that. That's lying to you and being misleading. And a lot of times they just want your money. Let's break a 24 series one jumbo. Why, Sean? You want to open cards? Come on, Sean. Save your money for the national, buddy. A lot of people hate being wrong when it happens. Yeah, that's a good point, Fuego. Yeah, anybody in the chat now hanging out, just want to post in a comment and just put a topic in there. I mean, it's good to hear other people's opinions and stuff like that. Good to hear the opinions of others. And jump in if someone's saying something wrong. Hey, you're wrong. That's not correct. Bay Pirates. I think this is the smallest one because they have less cards in this release. And Baltimore is here. Series 2 Baltimore. Milwaukee. That should be 30 teams. What's the best 50? Who is the best shortstop in the Major League Baseball, and why did you pick Bobby Wood? And why did you pick Bob? Okay, let me read this one back here. Sean's a damn teacher and still hasn't learned that Astros fans are a bunch of. Not all. Yeah, that's true. 25% of them. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good players on that team that had nothing to do with that whole That whole thing. But the other ones, yeah, those guys can all kick rocks. It sucks because they didn't have to do all that, but it happened. Who is the best shortstop in the major league in MLB, and why did you pick Bobby? Oh, you're saying that Bobby is Bobby Witt, and there's no question. Yeah, today that's pretty good. SP, that's funny, man. I like that. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, who picked Bobby Witt? Well, defensively, there's probably some better ones. Um, offensively, going to be hard to find a lot, but defensively, maybe. Tell you what, sorting can be fun sometimes, and sorting can also be, I mean, just a huge grind. Tell you what, Tampa Bay Rays, man, they really killed it this break. A lot of good cards. The foil Basabe, and then some Camaneros, and then there's the Caminero here, the Curtis Mead, and then the Basabe Golden Mirror. So sometimes them rougher teams really hit. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're a rougher team in this product because they do have a couple good rookies. Yeah, no current players are in the title great yet. Yeah, to be great is to be consistent, and there's a lot of inconsistency. So I would start there with the word great. Always kind of rolls with consistent. We've all been good at some things at some point in our life, but to do it consistently is in my opinion what makes you great. I think Sean had the Reds in this one. I believe there's 1, 2, 3 nice Ellies. I think there's 4 in here. Yep, on their home run challenge. So there's those 4 for the Reds. Not much for the Rockies though. Hunter Goodman. I don't know if he's playing. Hunter Goodman rookie. Rockies got to have a small stack. They don't have a ton of players, I don't think, in this one. That was a nice no border true photo variation for the Royals. Twins with a nice Royce Lewis. Julian Green. Nice blue variation. A lot of good inserts for the Twins in this one. A couple of nice ones for the Yanks. Mantle, Dominguez, Jeter, Patch, another Mantle. Yeah, Corey Seager's getting there. Yeah, I agree to that. I agree with that. Mets hit a nice David Wright and a Brett Beatty auto. Nationals had a couple good ones. 3 different numbered cards in the Robles team border. Diamondbacks also did good. A lot of Jordan Lawler, Randy Johnson blue, women in baseball, the Lawler foil, and the Lawler home field advantage. So really nice Lawlers for the Diamondbacks in this break. Dodgers hit the Yamamoto silver foil. A lot of inserts for the Dodgers. But everyone's hurt on the Dodgers now. So now what? So now it's wide open for everyone else to gain some ground. Nice. Yeah, let us know how you do. A lot of cards from Miami. Or, sorry, not Miami. There's Ortiz in here. All these Miami. Chisholm. Big Yankee. Milwaukee had 2 relic hits. Cubbies did really well. Cubbies had a lot of rookies, a lot of hits. Emanaga, Pete Crow gold, Michael Busch gold, Valerie Swanson first pitch, woman in baseball, 2 of those, and the Pete Crow home field advantage. So Cubbies did really well. Baltimore, 2 big hits, the Holiday Fun Face and the Gunnar Henderson autograph. Smalls, it just depends how you look at it, man. I look at cards differently when I buy stuff because I buy stuff to grade. So my opinion will be different, but I think all but 2021 Bowman has gone up substantially, meaning from what you paid for it versus what it's available now. Like 22 Bowman blasters, you can't find those for $25 anymore. Yeah. Well, you got to remember 23s, a lot of the COVID stuff, a lot of stuff was, a lot of players were held back. So there's a lot more. The issue with Bowman has always been, not issue, but one drawback has been, well, there's a lot of pitchers in there. Okay. So are we talking retail? Are we talking hobby? Are we talking jumbo boxes? What are we talking in terms of product? So 23 Bowman, if you look at the class and you believe in it, then go for it, period. There's not many releases where you can go and say, hey, I have this box from 2019. It's a draft box. I paid $299 for it. Yeah, well, they're $850 right now. Okay. Or they're $700. So even blasters have gone up. But if you're asking me personally, yes, I buy tons of Bowman. That's good. I will continue to buy Bowman. There's a nice Braves hit, Austin Riley auto to $199. Yeah, Bowman all the way for me. So like the oldest, like I have other like 19 and 20, like the single boxes, but in terms of quantity, like a blaster case or whatever you're buying, or if it's just a single box here and there, yeah, I have 21, 22, 23, 24. I always have that stuff. This was nice for the Oakland A's. Get off to 50. No, sorry, 199. And then the Soderstrom, that's got to go to PSA. Card number 1 of 150. I think Rocky wanted to get that graded. And then the Astros, there's the CJ Stroud. So that does it for 40. Yeah, if you believe in something, I'm with you. But just be careful. You have to have an exit plan and things like that. That's all. Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, good chatting. 3 Hobbies at 21 platinum anniversary. Nice. Yeah, let us know how you do, Magnus. That's cool, man. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I love the platinum anniversary. If you're building a set, Magnus, let me know, man. I got a lot of doubles, a lot of extras. 21 is a pain though. It's 700 cards. Yes, that's it. Yeah, funny, Sean. All right, fellas. Well, I'm gonna jump off here because I got to box all this stuff up. So it was good chatting with you. If you guys know anybody that's interested in getting into the kids giveaway, let me know. If you know anybody that's going to the National that's interested in getting into the going to the Indians game, get together before the game on Thursday, let me know. Send me their info. Have them email me, and we'll talk to y'all soon. All right, y'all, get back to work.